3 shocking ways to get rich in 2019. Here are 3 shocking ways that actually changed my entire life forever. I was struggling to get my career really going, and I was working so hard, and my wife was in credit card debt, and I did these 3 things that I learned, and I wasn't sure whether they'd really work, but I figured I'll just do them since I'm learning them. Oh my gosh, it changed my entire life, and I'm so excited to hear about your bank account growing from utilizing these 3 shocking ways to get rich in 2019 and beyond. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. If you're ready for the rest of the year to be the best of the year, the best of your life, right over there, hit the good old like button right over there on the side to send this video out into the YouTube universe. Hit the like button and let's dive right into this video. Step number 1, attempt to save 40% of your income. And if you can't start at the highest level you can possibly save at, even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable. Now, I was listening to a John Demartini program, and in it he was talking about Sir John Templeton. Sir John Templeton is one of the most famous investors ever, and he started his investment career by saving 50% of his income. So John Demartini suggested that everyone else should be able to do the same too, and if you can't start at whatever number you can, but push yourself more than you think you can, because the worst thing that will ever happen if you save money is that you'll end up with the money in case you need it, because you wouldn't be spending it. So there's nothing bad that can happen. And the good out of this is obviously you're accumulating more money, but more specifically, what you're doing is you're starting to demand from life that you attract more money. Let's say, for instance, you made $1,000 a month and you said, I'm going to save 40% now. So that would be $400. You only have $600 left over, and you say, well, I have enough for rent and, you know, a tiny bit of groceries, and that's it now. Okay, so instead of allowing our minds to get controlled for forever, even if it means in the short term we got to save less, what happens is if you save more than you think that you can, it forces you to start to think and focus on expansion. You come up with new ways to make more money, you attract new opportunities, and you start to set a higher barometer of what's possible for you in your life. And so you start wherever you can, right? 40 is a relative term, but that was a term that John Demartini said to start with, so I was like, I'll start with it. And I wasn't making much money, so that was a lot. It immediately cut down other things that I was just spending drastically, because I was like, I gotta save this. In a couple months I couldn't do it totally because of expenses. I had to drop to like 20% some months, but I was always working to try to get to 40. What happened was it made me stop being like, oh, it's okay, this little amount of money that I'm making. It made me go, well, shoot, I gotta double it. It made me set bigger sights. Michelangelo once said that the greatest tragedy in life isn't that we aim too high and we miss. It's that we aim too low and we reach it. The greatest tragedy isn't that we aim too high, it's that we aim too low and we reach it. And I realized that one of the reasons I was struggling so bad was because I had actually set my sights very low. And when I started to save more money, it focused me to actually increase my sights that I had set. And what happened is my income slowly started multiplying, which meant that 40% was turning into a bigger and bigger denomination. But that with that other 60%, as my income was growing, I was able to easily spend and afford things, pay my taxes, do all my lifestyle stuff. But that 60% went from a very small amount of money to bigger and bigger, and the 40% did. And then what happened was I demanded that I would attract more opportunities. So saving, obviously, in a very fiscal standpoint, it made more, digits in your bank account, but it forces you to come up with higher sights and higher standards and better opportunities and greater and more prosperous and valuable ideas to society, so that your income increases as well, which is the number one thing. Income has to increase if, per the title of this video, you want to get rich in 2019 and beyond. So that's step number 1. So comment down below I save more than I spend. Comment down below, I save more than I spend. Before we move on to 2, comment down below, I save more than I spend. Who cares if it's only at $500 to start out of your total income and you can only save $10 the first month or $2. Just start to build the habit instead of allowing the mind to rationalize and say, I'll do it when I have more money. Now let's start to demand that we have it now, and then this is going to open up our sights for all new opportunities. Number 2, forget about your goal. Set your goal, then actually forget about it. And what I mean by that is, let's say your first goal was to make $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. Instead of focusing on the number, then the question is, well, how can I become that type of person? Let's say for me, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. Well, how can I become that type of YouTuber that makes a good living off of YouTube? Well, number 1 is frequency of publication. I'm adding more value by way of publishing more often. Number 2 is I'm getting better at what I'm doing, right? Like, I would be able to deliver messages that people are listening to. My subscribers are growing as an indication that this content is valuable, right? What I'm saying is, take your mind off your specific financial goal and get it focused on the type of person that you need to be. If you're a doctor, how could you, and you want to make more money in your private practice, how could you become more valuable? Right? What are some things you can do? You might need to look into sales or marketing. Like, if I was a chiropractor, I would start a YouTube channel. If I was a chiropractor, and 3 times a week I'd be releasing tips on stress and pain relief, right? If I was a doctor, I'd probably be doing the same thing. If you're a nurse, how can you get better? If you're a secretary, how could you be more valuable to your boss or your employee? Whatever it is. If you're a salesperson, how could you get better at helping people? Whatever it is, when you can get 10% better at what you do and be thus 10% more valuable, your income will follow in direct response to that. So what I started doing was just focusing on getting a bunch of videos under my belt, getting a bunch of them under my belt so I get better and better and better at it. And as I got better and better and better at communicating it, my channel started growing more and more, and my income started to grow more and more with it. So ask yourself, how can I become more valuable? And in that answer also lies the seed to your financial growth. Last but not least, be consistent with whatever it is. What happens to a lot of people is they scoreboard watch. Oh, my bank account's not growing yet. And then they start changing their commitments based off of the lack of results. They allow their senses to control them. Like, for instance, my channel took forever to start building, and I would get like 0 subscribers a day, 1 subscriber, -1, +2. But I was spending a lot of time and a lot of money for a very long period of time trying to get it to take off, but it wasn't taking off. And if I would have allowed the information I was receiving with my physical senses, I would have stopped and said, I guess this isn't meant to be. But I made a commitment to myself that if I died, I wanted to have a library of amazing multimedia video content out there that will live on forever. Whether I'm still in body or not, it will live on forever. And I made that commitment. And I said, okay, well, what would that commitment look like? It would look like publishing a video every single day with the intention to uplift the consciousness of humanity, to increase the positivity and joy, to help people become more free and vibrant and live their best life, and thus be a domino to be an example for others. I wanted that. And so that meant I needed to publish videos every day. I needed to communicate this message succinctly every day with consistency, regardless of the results or lack of results. As I committed to that, eventually I hit something called what I call a proficiency threshold. You hit a threshold on financial goals where it seems like, oh, maybe this isn't meant to be. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe this isn't meant to be. It's a threshold, and that threshold keeps most people out. That brick wall keeps most people out. But the threshold is basically right before something fantastic happens, right before your big break. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he calls it 3 feet from gold, that you're 3 feet away from gold, and most people quit right there because they allow with their eyes and ears and their physical senses and their present world to dictate what they think. So they lose their optimism and possibility, and then they react to their present circumstances and stop doing their work. So I could have stopped publishing videos, but I didn't. And then what happened is, when I was on a camping trip, my channel wasn't getting any results, and all of a sudden it took off and went viral in a 48-hour period, and I got a bunch of subscribers overnight. And then it's just like the rest was history, because I was consistent for like a year without any results. So do what you're doing because you know it's the right thing, not because you can get money for it. And if you do what you're doing because you know it's the right thing, or it brings you joy, you're good at it, or you can help people at it, as you commit to it, your value, your energy, your possibilities will continue to increase. And as that happens, you're going to pull money back to you. Prosperity will be attracted to you as a result of this level of certainty and confidence and commitment. And that's when all the quantum leaps happen and fantastic things start headed your way. So, 3 great ways to get rich in 2019 and beyond. So what I invite you to do is pick one of these that speaks to you most. Maybe you can implement the rule of 5. I learned it from Jack Canfield. Make a list of 5 things you can commit to for your own commitment to your mission, to your purpose, to your highest growth in life, and commit to those. Mine was publishing the videos, making the thumbnails, every day, non-negotiable. And amazing things started to happen when I developed that discipline towards my worthy ideals, towards my worthy vision that I wanted my life to become. And then everything started opening up. So if you haven't yet, hit the like button on this video right over there. That'll send it out into the YouTube universe. So hit the good old like button right over there. Subscribe, bell notification. Right there down below is Jake's Hypnosis. It's my success hypnosis. It's totally free. I always say brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. And our world brainwashes us for limitation, to be average. And I said, brainwash yourself for positivity, success, optimism, prosperity before the world brainwashes you. And I made this for myself with amazing results. So then I started giving it away out for free online, and now over about almost 100 or 500,000 people from all over the world have used it, which is really crazy. I never could have imagined that that would happen so quickly. Similarly, you cannot imagine the financial breakthroughs that are right in front of your face when you commit to one or all 3 of these ways to get rich in 2019 and beyond. So right there down below is jakeshypnosis.com. Go right there down below, jakeshypnosis.com. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Wishing you some fantastic news, some great breaks, and some awesome happiness in your life right now.